Muchachos y muchachas, welcome back to another video. One that I was planning to make, but on my own time and my own terms. It was more so going to be fitting for the Daily Traffic, my other channel where I cover trafficking news. And it was going to, or it still is going to kick off my interview podcast where I interview trafficking survivors. But because I am gaining more and more of a following rapidly, I know that there are going to be trolls and haters out there that are actively seeking things to implicate me in, and rightfully so. This is understandable because I understand the culture that we're in right now. We're having this big awakening on the pedophilia and like all these things in regards to trafficking. So let me cut straight to the chase. So back in 2015, I want to say even a little bit before that, I had a makeup company called Makeup Theory Cosmetics, and as well as me being at that time a very avid Tim Burton enthusiast. I've grown up with Tim Burton. I have watched all his movies. My mom took me to the theater when I was little and took me to see Nightmare Before Christmas. So, and then being on alternative kid myself, I just like the more gothy type of things, right? So I've always loved Tim Burton, and thus I chose a logo adhering to Tim Burton's symbol, and this was back in 2015. So let me just go through it. This is what happened. I got this DM, and of course this troll here, who has absolutely no followers and no following, came here to implicate me in something. So, and he points out a very old piece of content, and this was back in 2015. I'll even give you the dates. I'm not going to pull a Chrissy Teigen on you. I'm not going to delete anything. You can go back yourself and go look at the context of all my postings. But, so he brings up this picture here. And I just liked it. But he brings up this picture here, which has my logo. And if you go back into my YouTube videos too, I welcome you to do it. Go back about 2015, 2016. I probably had this logo, Natalie Denise Reviews, where I did movie reviews and all these things. So you can go back yourself and check out the context of everything. I mean, I have nothing to hide, so you can go right now. Nothing's deleted. So, what have you. So anyway, this was my logo. It was the Tim Burton swirl. Now, Tim Burton, again, I was a big Tim Burton enthusiast. To this day, I don't know what his swirls mean. I don't know if that was just his creative factors or creative, ideas. I don't know what it is, or if he truly meant what we implicate swirls to mean today in 2020. So, I did adhere it from the Tim Burton logo. So let's look at that. So this is the Tim Burton swirl. See Tim Burton here. This is his actual artwork, last of its kind by Tim Burton. And even there is a Tim Burton Studios logo that even proves that this is his. See all these swirls and all these whirly things. Here we go, right here. So that is Tim Burton's logo. And back in 2015, I definitely did adhere my persona and my brand and my art direction towards the Tim Burton type of stuff. So I did adhere his swirl to my logo, and this was back in 2015. Now, come 2020, now we kind of know what these swirls and symbols all mean now. And so I think what we're doing is, we have a big heightened awareness for swirls and pedo symbology and all these things, which is a good thing. I just don't know that if that's what Tim Burton meant. And if it is what Tim Burton meant, then that's all in his artwork. So that is, and I just wanted to bring receipts because I was, again, makeup artist, had a makeup artist line. This was my See, Makeup Theory Cosmetics. Had this. And again, all adhered from the Tim Burton art direction. So I had a brush line, and you can even see it there. So back in 2015, I had no idea what this was. I think I saw the Pizzagate documentary either at the tail end, it was either between 2016 or 2017, around that area. It might have even been 2018. I'm going to say 2017, 2018. So I had no idea what Pizzagate was or anything like that. Now I was doing, ministry back like 2013. And I was actually going into the cantinas of Houston. I've got screenshots of our conversations, our operation. So I was doing trafficking ministry before that. I just didn't know that this connected. I didn't know that Pizzagate connected to trafficking. I didn't even know that Pizzagate existed. So anyway, let me bring it back to Tim Burton. Now, when back in 2015, when, again, enthusiast, Tim Burton was everything to me. Big fan of Tim Burton. So I'd adhere his logo to my makeup company and my makeup posts. Now, this is where I am going to show you the context. And I think it's important also, like, for instance, with Chrissy Teigen, she has a bunch of like pizzas and symbology and all these things, but in conjoint to that, she also had pedo tweets and pedo type of language and all these things. But she went through 60,000 tweets and deleted them. Mine are still existing today, and you can look at all the context. Like I said, I'll even give you the dates. Go back on my Facebook from, I'd say, 2015 to 2016, even just a little bit after that. Go into 2017. I think I used the logo for a year. And because I said that I watched the Pizzagate documentary around this time, that's probably where I realized, like, okay, I need to like change my logo because I'm not cool with it being, conflated with that. But nonetheless, it was something that was part of my brand. So I'm just kind of going through, this is my Facebook here. And it's also on YouTube. So you can go back on YouTube, and actually I have a YouTube video for you guys to kind of see, but you can even go back on my YouTube, and there are movie reviews with probably that symbol. It said Natalie Denise Reviews, not Makeup Theory Cosmetics, but I use that symbol in both of my contents. I was a movie reviewer as well as a makeup artist, so there's that. So anyway, this is my Facebook back end. So I'll show you the post here, and as you can see, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can maybe, can I see them? There we go. I'm going to zoom in so that way you guys can see like the type of content that I had in here. Again, is the date range January 1st, 2015 to December 31st, 2016. Here goes all of the posts. Again, big makeup enthusiast. This is all I did. Clean fall makeup. So here goes the post here. I was talking about makeup. So again, you guys can go back yourselves. I'm inviting you to like go back yourself and oops, here we go.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to On the Learn Yet. This is where I dive deep into the mechanics of makeup tutorials, anything that you have had or have questions on. So today I am doing a request from Kelia Galloway.
Even looking back, I'm like, that's cringy, like my content and all that. And then here goes the Natalie Denise Reviews. Let me see. Oh, look, I grew so much since then. Cheese and crackers. Okay, so let's see this. And I don't know why the sound doesn't work on this one, but this is a review on Moana. And there you go, the Natalie Denise Reviews logo. I mean, it's just something that I adhered from Tim Burton back in 2015, 2016. I had no idea that the FBI had any sort of declassified, symbology document or anything like that. I didn't learn that until I watched the Pizzagate documentary. So again, I'm just going to kind of zoom in on all my content so you can see the context. So, I shared makeup memes, makeup reviews, makeup tutorials, queremos maquillar, we want to dance, do makeup. So it's like, you see nothing but makeup context. There was never anything like pedophilic themed around my content. It was literally about the art and the things of Tim Burton that inspired me in my art direction. Again, I don't know what Tim Burton means with his worlds, if that's his art intention or if there's symbology and there's meaning behind it. Since then, I have really it's not since this. There's an incident I'm about to come out with. But since this incident that I'm going to talk about, that's when I started distancing myself. And it wasn't necessarily Tim Burton direct related, but it had something to do with that gave me a bad taste in my mouth. So anyway, go back on Facebook, go back on YouTube, go look at my content. I mean, there are OG followers who have been following. Look, here we go. Tim Burton. Bam. And when was this? 2016. You see that date? 2016. So, like I said, I invite you to go into my content, my old content. I mean, there's nothing that I ever implicated any sort of pedophilia or anything like that. Again, it was only about the makeup. So, yeah, that's what I have. I mean, look, here's a tutorial. This one was kind of cool. And I was a big DC fan as well. My original YouTube people know that too, because that's how they originally flocked to my channel. See, very Halloween themed, very Tim Burton Easter.
What the? I was feeling a bit screw loose, so I checked myself in. Who are you? Joker. My card.
There's me back in 3 years ago? It says 3 years ago. So, I mean, like I said, you're invited. I invite you to versus people like Chrissy Teigen, who's going back on her content and deleting all these masses of tweets and content pieces and all that. I invite you to go and look at every single post back in 2015, 2016. Very, very Tim Burton themed and centric. So that was the basis of my art direction, was because I was a Tim Burton enthusiast. Okay, so this is the part where I get into my testimony. Now, back in 2017, I entered a contest to this bar that was Tim Burton themed. And it was a contest to win a trip with you and a guest to the bar on Halloween, of your choice. It was any bar of your choice, or it was either in Los Angeles and New York. They had two locations, so they were well, basically you can choose whatever you want. You want to go to New York, you want to go to Los Angeles. So I entered the contest, and I'm just going to show you some receipts. This was back in 2017, and I'm going to just begin with this, the top 10. I won the contest. So let me just preface that I won the contest. Amazing to our top 10. Amazing job to everyone who has entered, blah, blah, blah. So my name's on there. And let me scroll down to my post. And this was the thing about this contest. And you can go to this page. It's called Is Lit Now. So facebook.com/islitnow. So if you go back to that page, you'll even see, here I am. You'll even see that there was no, and I should have picked this up, but there was no criteria for the winner. Like they basically said, make a video telling us why you want to win this contest, basically. And so I made a video, and you can see there, like I was a big time, like big time Tim Burton enthusiast. Like you can go back. I mean, I'm inviting you guys with warm open arms. All of that was my artistry, and I adhered it to the Tim Burton sort of art direction. So anyway, this was a video entry that I did for this particular contest. And this kind of ties into how I started distancing myself away from the Tim Burton like logo itself. To be honest with you, like completely honest with you, it didn't distance me completely away from Tim Burton, because I wasn't sure if that was what he meant. I'm not sure if even to this day, if that was just his art direction, or if he had some deliberate meaning with pedophilia with the swirl. So, and you can even see that with his other art, for instance, in, well, this isn't the actual still, but in Nightmare Before Christmas, that little hill with the swirl on it, it's there. There's swirls in all his little art directions. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So I enter into this contest, Tim Burton enthusiast wanting to win this trip to this Tim Burton themed bar, right? And so I enter, and again, let me just kind of put this on play. I enter, and I had a big following on my Facebook page, my fan page on Facebook. It's not a fan page, it's my page. I had about 65,000. No, it was more. It was probably about 70,000, 73,000. It was like pretty up there. I had 73,000 followers on Facebook. So I knew if I could just share this onto my Facebook, I would easily win. No questions asked. I would just win it. And it came to be that I did. I got 13,000 views. And the thing is, still, there were so many entries to this contest, but yet there was no criteria as to what would win this contest, right? Like there was nothing that said, like, if you get at least 5,000 views, you'll be in the top 5. Or if you get at least 200 likes on on your post entry, you'd be entered into the top 10% or something like that. There was just never criteria. And see, like, the thing with me is, like, again, Tim Burton fanatic. So I don't care. I just want to go to this bar, and I want to be around people who are as enthusiastic about Tim Burton as I am. So they've got all these entries, and somehow they picked me. So this is the lead down to my testimony about possibly being trafficked. Now, everything I am going to go into is alleged. So let me make that premise, and let me make that caveat that everything that I am about to go into is alleged, and it is not certain that this was happening. But I think with the evidence that I am going to, screenshots that I'm going to present, you can probably think for yourself and see how this was pretty alarming, and why I would think that this was possibly a trafficking attempt on me. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. I win the contest. I am chosen first place. Again, we don't know by what criteria we won by. And when I say we, I mean me and like all the people who shared me. But I had the most views on my video. A lot of, I think maybe the most likes, maybe comparable to other people. But I win the contest. Okay, so basically, and before I win the contest, like before even announcing it officially, the owner of this bar calls me and says, "Hey, I think you're going to win." And this was like probably about 3 to 4 days before them officially announcing, like they had an official announcing day. And so Of course I'm excited, and I'm like, heck yeah, man. Like, cause I am so ecstatic to like go to this bar and like, again, share the same enthusiasm with people, that had the same enthusiasm as me. So I get a call about 3 to 4 days before I win, and they let me know like, hey, we think we're going to win, is, all this stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm excited. And, around the same week of Halloween, myself and my mom planned a trip to Disneyland. And this trip to Disneyland was because I was, again, a big Halloween fanatic, loved The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I wanted to go to Disney and see all these, decorations and things like that. Now, again, I had no idea. It was before I saw Pizzagate, the documentary, and knowing about this. So this was in 2017. So I probably watched Pizzagate in 2018. Now, so me and my mom plan a trip to Disney World the week of Halloween. And so I was already going to be in California. And because I was already going to be in California, I elected to choose the bar location that was in Los Angeles. So I tell the person who owns this bar and who is announcing that I won it, hey, I'm going to be in the California, LA, Anaheim area the same week as my prize, right? Like my prize was an all paid expense, like me and a guest. We get our flights paid, we get our lodging paid, and we get our dinner paid, obviously, at the restaurant. And so I tell the owner or whoever's supposed to be coordinating this, which is him and his assistant, I tell him, hey, I'm going to be in Anaheim, Los Angeles area anyway. So if you want, you don't have to pay a flight. You could just pay for my lodging, since I'll be there anyway. So we agree, and we're like, okay, cool. So I'm in Anaheim, Los Angeles area for that week. So I'm there, I believe, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And myself and my mom went to Disneyland or Disney World, Disneyland, California. And it was great. We experienced Halloween at Disney. That was one of my bucket list items to do. Of course, knowing obviously before Disney and knowing, what all they're about and stuff like that. But I digress. Anyway, me and my mom were at Disney World, having our day and our week rather. And so we were at Disney World. And so it's moving closer towards the tail end of the week, which is when I believe Halloween that year was either Sunday or I think it was Sunday in 2017. I'll have to check on that. So it was at the tail end of that week, basically, or the beginning of the next week. And so, I'm over here still without accommodations, for my my transfer. So I'm already staying with my mom at a hotel we had already pre-planned. And, I'm waiting for my lodging instructions from these people. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. I don't need a flight anymore. I just need you guys to give me lodging. And so that's when it started to get a little bit curious, because we were moving towards Wednesday, and then it was Thursday, and I still didn't have any reservations. So this is where the screenshots start. Okay, so this is where the text messages start. Okay, so in a synopsis, I'm already in California. I'm waiting for my reservations, my plans. I need them to confirm me. I need them to tell me what hotel I'm staying in, because, I'm already in California, and I'm about to stay there like a day away. Like, I'm about to lodge by myself. My mom was planning to go back to Texas, and, me and my friend, my guest, who I chose for my +1, she was supposed to fly in from Houston to LA to be my guest for the whole shindig. And so I think, okay, like I'll be cool by myself in LA for like a day. Like, my friend will fly in. Everything's gravy, baby, right? And so I'm over here, though, still waiting on my reservation. So I text message the assistant and I'm basically like, hey, following up about the accommodations on Friday. And the assistant's like, sorry for the delay. We'll be getting you the information that shortly. And then the assistant then text messaged me, asked me, like, would you and your friends be okay be sharing with one bed? And I said, I mean, I guess, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, this is a little bit unprofessional, and I'm starting to feel a little bit weird about it because I'm like, okay, like this is a contest and you should be already prepared to give us the accommodations. Mind you, the thing that I gave them is that, like, my situation was a little different because I was already in California. All they had to do was give me lodging. So it should have been less complicated. So I wait and I wait and I wait after asking over and over and over again throughout that week, the assistant for my accommodations. It's already about a day away, or I think it was like, yeah, it was like less than 24 hours away where I didn't have my accommodations. And so I started texting the owner at this point, because I'm like, look, I'm a little bit weirded out that I don't have anything and it's already a day away. So I text message the owner and I say, hey, owner, just wondering what the holdup is about the hotel accommodations in which we still haven't received, especially me, and I'm a day away from Friday. And the owner responds, there's no holdup. You should have all the info today at some point. All good. And tried to reassure me, are you excited? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like annoyed. I'm like, yeah, I mean, being short, like giving my reservations. So I'm switching back to the assistant now. The assistant still has not come forth with my reservations. And this is a day, like less than 24 hours away. You can see the time there. It's at almost 6:00 that evening. I remember I was in Disneyland, like worried with my brains out, like what the heck is going on? Like, why is it taking so long for this to go through? All you have to do is like plug in information and give me my hotel. Like, that's all it takes. So by 6:00, it's close to 6:00 that evening, I still don't have any details about my arrangements. And I text message the assistant and I say, no lie, I'm a bit weirded out at the fact that the booking is taking this long. Again, if you have done any sort of bookings with hotels, like whether it's through Expedia or, whatever, hotels.com, I don't know. It doesn't take that long to book a hotel. Like, you literally put in your information, your payment, and they got you a confirmation number straight up. I don't know any manual process outside of that, like that it takes this long. So with that being said, that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, okay, like, where's my accommodations? And so the person is like trying to reassure me and saying things like, we're waiting on our partner to give us a confirmation number. We will be getting it tonight. Okay, so I'm waiting for my accommodations and, they're saying that they're waiting on a confirmation number. Again, confirmation numbers come almost immediately, after booking your hotel with payment. So then I responded up to this point, and with so much time, since I've won the contest and just doesn't make any sense to me. I keep being told this day to the next day for a week after follow-ups. I had been following up like literally every day that week. Like, where is my accommodations? Where is that? And this is literally less than 24 hours. I still don't have anything. So I'm getting a little bit pissed and annoyed. Like, first of all, don't be unprofessional. All right. So this is where the owner text messages me, and this is where he's giving his explanation as to why it's taking so long to get a hotel reservation for myself. And he states, sorry about the assistant. She said that you're going to share a bed with your friend. You don't have to. And then he goes into, it's closer, or he says, also, there's no holdup. It's just that we're trying to upgrade you to a better hotel. We're putting you at the Dream Hotel. It's closer, or our partner in LA is friends with the manager there, and he's making sure you get a great room. And he just wanted to wait until today to see what didn't book for the weekend, to see if you could get you the best room out of what they had available. Sorry, I'm dictating, so that might be gibberish. You will have the confirmation, everything you need. Check in before tomorrow morning. and states that he doesn't know what information that his assistant is giving me. But the only information is that the contest was always supposed to be 2 days in a hotel. So we had 2 days booked in advance and held it for months for this. Then we had plans to change and realized we're going to be lodging you for an additional 3 nights. I asked my partner to find a better hotel if he could. Like that doesn't make sense. Like why do you have to find me a better hotel? Like just find me a hotel. Nobody's asking for a better hotel. So anyway, he said he has a great deal with the Dream Hotel and the manager there has a friend, but that he wouldn't confirm the reservation until before he had the rooms to see what rooms will be available for the weekend based on our needs of having 2 beds. Apologies if the assistant did not relay the message properly to you, which I wasn't even getting any sort of communication aside from me asking for a response. And so this is the assistant now, and the assistant is saying, sorry, it's taking so long. We are very busy. We are waiting for our partner to give us a confirmation number. We will be getting it tonight. And mind you, this is all with follow-ups after follow-up after follow-up after follow-up. And this is less than 24 hours until I'm by myself in LA. So I respond like up to this point, and with so much time since I've won the contest, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I keep being told this day, the next day for week after week follow-ups. And she goes, the hotel is booked. We're just waiting for the confirmation to send to you. We aren't supposed to be doing a hotel for 5 days. The original contest was only for 2 days. That's why we had to make some arrangements and have you in a better hotel. Which, I mean, to me, that's like just a bunch of words. Like, why not just go to Expedia.com and book me a hotel for a certain amount of days? Like, it's not that complicated to book a hotel. And so this is the part that really got me really screwed up, because I still don't get my details about the hotel until midnight that night. The owner of the bar then text messages me again at midnight and says along the ways, sorry for the delay. The reservation is under person's name and the name should be added. Your name should be added to the reservation. This is a man's name, by the way, that he's giving me. The reservation is under a man's name. You know, I'm not going to out the names. But this is under his name. And your name should be added to it. The reservation is for you through the weekend. And when your friend arrives, they will put you guys at the Dream Hotel. So, you know, initially, like, I'm over here, like, you're putting my reservation under a dude's name. You know what I mean? Like, and so I start to have a problem with that, because I'm like, I don't want like some random dude with like their name on my reservation to have access to my hotel room, because, you know, if your name matches your ID, they can easily give you a key. So I'm already precautious about this whole situation already unfolding. So I look up who this person is and I take screenshots, obviously. All right. And so because of this, I'm alarmed and I'm like, no, I don't want to be under a dude's name, a stranger dude. Like, I have no idea who this dude is, but you're putting my reservation under his name. Therefore, if he wanted access to my hotel room, he could get it because his name matches the reservation. Easy as that. He can give access to whoever, theoretically speaking. So the owner then says, I guess there was some confusion regarding whether or not we wanted to book you at the location of the Dream Hollywood since we added the extra days, but it's all good. So this dude is over here telling me that the delay is because they have been looking out for a better room and a better hotel all this time. And then the excuse now this was like at the last minute at midnight, and this dude was in the East Coast, so it was later for him. It was probably about 1 o'clock. No, if I was in California, he was in East Coast. That's 3. So it was about 2 o'clock his time, 2 o'clock his time that he's making all these arrangements. I don't know if that factors into anything, but to me, that's kind of sketchy. Hey, what's going on? It's editing me in a desolate planet somewhere else. Anyway, I just wanted to add, I was actually reading some of that screenshot that I didn't catch while I was filming the video. And he noticed that he says, when your friend gets here, we're going to move you to a different hotel. That also was another red flag that I forgot to mention on the video. Because the thing is, like, why not just give me a 2-bedroom hotel, the entire time? Or why not just, accommodate at the same hotel? Like, or if you have those details already lined up when my friend gets there, like, why not tell me where that hotel is? Okay, you're going to stay 2 days at this hotel, and when your friend comes, this is the next hotel you guys are going to be at, just because we had been planning this and we had been knowing about this hotel. So I just wanted to insert that. I was reading the text message a little bit closer as I'm editing this. So just another, some more food for thought. So he's basically telling me that, like, in the past, he was telling me where, the holdup is that we're trying to find you a hotel at the Dream Hotel because, you basically changed our plans. And it was like, okay, then find me a hotel. Then at the last minute, it was the reservation for you through the weekend. And then when your friend, there was some confusion regarding whether or not we wanted to book this location or the Dream Hotel since we added the extra days, but it's all good. So he's like, his story isn't adding up about the, search. First of all, they're waiting for the confirmation number. They were waiting for the confirmation days before, by the way. They were, when I first started inquiring, it was days before when they were waiting on the confirmation number, the hotel confirmation number. So I'm waiting for that. And then they delay it a few days, and then it's up to less than 24 hours when I'm supposed to have my lodging details in order to stay by myself. So fast forward, I'm booked under this dude's name. I don't even know who this dude is. And so I do my own little work of, finding out like what it takes for me to get the reservation just under my name. So that way I only have access to that room. And so I call, and they went through, this is another detail. They went through a third party called hotelstonight.com, which, lets you know that they were not looking thoroughly for a hotel room. They literally did a Johnny on the spot right there, hotelstonight.com, where they find like some deal at the last minute. So then I have a problem with that. And it's like, okay, no, there's a dude named to my room and I don't want this dude to have access. So I said, I did my own little poking around with the travel or the hotel agent, and I called their customer service line and I asked them, hey, technically speaking, if another person has access to, or if they have their name on the room reservation, do they have access to my room? And they told me yes. And I said, okay, so can that person buy my room but put the entire reservation under my name, so that way only I would have access? And they said yes, but the purchaser of the reservation would have to call in and change the name of the reservation to yours. And so I had my facts straight. I had my receipts, and I was like, okay, so now I know how to go to this dude and come back with like, look, I don't feel safe with this dude being named on my reservation. Can you have him change it to just solely my name? So you can even go to hotelstonight.com's customer service and ask yourself today, like, hey, what happens in this scenario when someone with a dude's name books a hotel room, but the girl wants the whole hotel room to herself? Can they purchase it, but then set the reservation just for the girl? They'll tell you the same thing today. So I did my research and I called hotelstonight.com, told you what I found out. And so I had my backup. I already had like my receipts backed up. All right. Like I know what they're going to say. I know what the policy is with reserving and names and access and all that. And I asked the agent all those questions. If this person has a name, can he get a key? If this person has a name, can he get access? Can I change the reservation myself? No. Oh, okay. The purchaser has to change it. Oh, okay. So then, And I told him, I said, look, I called and only his name is under the room. If it was booked under hotelstonight.com, they can have it changed to just my name. I don't want his name tied to my room. I talked to their rep service. I'm checking out in the morning. How can this be done? And I was doing it with authority. Like, look, how can you change the name? Because I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, stay at a room where it's under some other dude's name. So then this owner then says, he is the person who booked the room with his credit card, so his name will be tied to the room. However, your name is also on the room, so I also called the hotel myself to make sure of it. You're all set. So let me get this straight. Like, there's just so much going on. You say that you were looking for a hotel, that you had this big deal with your buddy at the Dream Hotel, and you guys were staking out to look for the best hotel that was available at the next moment. Then it was days later, you still didn't have a reservation or a confirmation number for me, which, to remind you, takes only a few minutes to get a confirmation. Seconds, actually, a few seconds after you plug in your information. So you don't have the confirmation number. You're waiting for the confirmation. And then the story changes to you're waiting to see if the hotel would have a vacancy that weekend. So you're waiting for a confirmation number. You're waiting for a hotel room. Which one is it? And then you jump the gun and you go and book some some first available hotel on hotelstonight.com, which is just a quick Expedia type agent that would find you the next best deal for that day. And then now it's that, that you have been doing all these arrangements. Your assistant somehow has been doing all these arrangements. And now it's you that are calling the hotel to make sure that I have my name underneath this person's name. So this person books the hotel. You're calling the hotel as I don't know the stranger, but the stranger booked my hotel room. This stranger booked my hotel room. This person, the business owner or the bar owner, is over here telling me that he then calls the hotel to ensure that my name is on the hotel reservation. What is going on? What is going on? So I don't know if this person was stupid or just didn't know how to plan or what. And so at this point, I'm scared out of my freaking mind. And my mother, who was with me, was advising me on the thing. She's like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to leave you in Los Angeles. All of this is sketchy. I have a terrible maternal instinct feeling about all of this. And, she was basically giving me the best maternal advice that she could. She was like, there's no way in hell I'm leaving you in Los Angeles. You're not staying at this hotel with some dude on the hotel room. So, retrospectively looking, if you've stayed with my testimony so far, you're probably like, well, maybe they were disorganized, right? Maybe they were, just really, truly looking for a hotel and all this stuff, right? May I remind you that this was booked through another person, through a stranger, like a dude that I had never even heard of. And so that's where it leaves off, right? They think that I'm going to check in to this hotel the next day, when my mom is supposed to be going back to Texas and I'm supposed to stay in California by myself. And so, by the time I get all these texts from the bar owner, I'm freaked the hell out. And I'm like, I concur. I concur with my mom, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going. There's no way. I'm going back to Texas. And I had already had a flight lined up for Texas before, because we had already planned our Disneyland trip together before I won the contest. So I already had a flight lined up for me to go back to Texas. I just wasn't going to take that. I was going to just, take the losses with that flight by just staying in Los Angeles. But I had it lined up already. So I had it already lined up. So I go back to Texas. We arrive back to Texas, and there's a time difference. So I arrived back to Texas. I want to say, when was it? Yeah, it was about midnight. There we go. It was about midnight. I get back to Texas. So back in Cali time, it's probably about like 10 o'clock that day. And mind you, the check-in time for my hotel room was supposed to be 3 o'clock. Okay. This was a Friday that I was supposed to check into. This was a Friday where I was supposed to stay by myself. Okay. So let me let you know something. Like, when you're in LA on a Friday night, you could be doing anything. You could be out to dinner. You could be out on the town. You could be out doing anything, right? Like, it's Friday in LA. Like, you could be doing anything. So tell me why. I get a text message at about midnight. It was a little bit past midnight from a chick. So this is a different player. I don't even know who this person is, but this chick is texting me and she's saying, hello, this is, chick's name from, that place. Are you okay? The hotel said you did not check in. And it seems that the business owner and his assistant messages to you are blocked, because I had blocked them off of all social media, off of my phone, like, because I was freaked out. I was like, no, I'm not, like, y'all stay the hell away from me. So I blocked them, and she's like, are you not intending to come anymore? Is something wrong? We would appreciate if you could reply. Thank you. And then she gets enraged and she's like, am I blocked too? If you're not going to come, it would be great if you would let us know. This trip is for you and your friends. It's costing us thousands of dollars. This is extremely rude and inconsiderate. What did we do to deserve this? So, okay, already you're getting super emotionalized over this thing. Like, you're getting super emotional about something that I don't even know who this chick is, but you're texting me and getting super emotional about something that, I'm over here thinking, like, it's midnight in Texas. So it's about 10 o'clock in LA. So I could have been doing anything. I could have been, again, out on the town, at dinner, whatever. So what is it to you that I don't check in? And another thing, what hotel calls third parties who are not on your reservation to tell them that you don't check in? Let me know. I mean, maybe there's like some sort of crazy courtesy that this boutique hotel, which by the way, wasn't like a 5-star Ritz, anything like that. It was like a fast hotel. But you tell me what hotel, like, you're nothing but a number and profit for a hotel. Unless you're like the Ritz-Carlton. So in saying that, they're not gonna, I mean, if you missed your reservation and you already paid for it, they're not gonna go out and outreach. Hey, are you gonna check in? Like, maybe there are hotels out there that do that, but they'll reach out to the person. Why are you saying like that why are you saying that the hotel said you did not check in? Okay, and here's another detail. The hotel is booked under a man's name. And so I get an email from the bar owner, because I blocked this person through all social media and through text messages and everything. And basically says, and see, this is where their stories are going to start contradicting. It says, hello, what's happening? Are you okay? The hotel called to let us know you never checked in, ? So there it is again. So like, tell me, like, either you pay off the hotel clerks to let you know when a female who is not on the reservation by name didn't check in. So you got like paid eyes on the hotel, or someone was already at the hotel knowing and expecting a female to come in and she never made it. Which one is it? Because that's what it seemed like to me. So, I mean, like, and let me just retrospectively like look back at this. Let's just say that they were super duper disorganized, right? They were super disorganized. Why did their stories conflict so much? Why did they say that they had the reservation? They're just waiting on the confirmation number. So you had it, but fast forward a few days up until less than 24 hours to me staying by myself and needing my lodging details. You're barely looking for hotels. So their stories were always conflicting. Then Fast forward to this, I'm getting text messages from a random chick, and then I'm getting an email from the bar owner saying, what's happening. The hotel called us to let us know you never checked in. How did they know they were expecting me? How did they know that they were expecting me? There was a dude's name on that hotel room. That's what freaked me out the most. That's what pushed me away from the entire plan. There was a man's name on that reservation this entire time. How did they know that they were expecting a female to come into that room? Either, again, the hotel clerks were paid off, or there was already a person expecting me to walk into that hotel room. Because, I mean, and I even consulted one of my friends who was she was like a hotel coordinator locally to where I live. And I was asking her about procedure. I'm like, look, this is the situation. Do hotels typically do this? Do they reach out to people to say, hey, are you going to check in? Like, or do they just move on with their life, and you're just a number? You're just a sale that just didn't make the reservation. Like, what is it? And to my thoughts, she was like, typically we just we don't call, like we wait for you to call us. But yeah, I mean, and there might be some courtesies out there that do it, but not specifically to this situation where I'm not even named on the hotel. So they don't know that they're expecting a female. So who do they know is supposed to, who are they expecting to check in? Unless someone was already there. So continued, this bar owner then commences to text message my +1, my friend, who was supposed to be accompanying me on this trip. And so he has her contact information, and he's trying to find out, what the hell happened. I had already text messaged my friend, and I told her, I gave her the lowdown. I was like, look, I don't trust this situation. This told her everything that I just told you guys. This is what's going on. And so I basically told her, look, I know this is disappointing, but we cannot go on this trip. We cannot continue on in this trip. And so he gets her contact information, and he text messages her, and he says, hello, this is bar owner from bar. Your friend, Natalie, has stopped replying to anyone from our staff and seemingly gone MIA. In addition, we are to fly you to Hollywood Monday, and we can't get in touch with anyone. She responds, hi, yesterday I found out, and I told her to cover for me because I was like, just make up a story. Tell her that I had, tell him that I had a family emergency or something, because I'm freaked out by this point. Yesterday I found out that Natalie had an inconsolable devastation emergency. I don't know the details, and now I cannot get in touch with her either. Please cancel my flight and accommodations. And he goes, is she okay? And then he proceeds with, she didn't show up at her hotel, and she seems to have blocked us from all social media and phone as well. This is very strange. Again, how are you expecting me at the hotel when it's under a dude's name? How? And so thinking back on it too, let's say I went through with it and I were to check into the hotel, obviously they were trying to check into the hotel to see whether I checked in or not. Now, why they care if I checked in, that's another thing too. Why do you care when I check in? You weren't worried about all this time when I was asking for my accommodations. All of a sudden you want to care about me checking into a hotel. Why? I had been asking for my reservations for a straight up week and never got a response, or got this push around, and the push around that I just shared with you guys. And all of a sudden we care so much about me checking in. Why? To the point where, the hotel is so courteous to call you and let you know, hey, your little guest here didn't check in. Do hotels do that to third parties? Do they call third parties and say, hey, your little girl didn't check in? So this is the most, I think, telling part of these text messages to my friend. So again, this is a bar owner text messaging my friend, trying to vent his frustration that I didn't show up to the hotel. And it reads, "I'm not sure why she would block all of us on social media and even block our phone numbers. If she just had a change of heart and decided she didn't want to make the trip, she could have let us know. But as of Thursday night, she was texting with what seemed to be upset about her hotel accommodations, which were nothing. They were non-existent. That's why I was upset. And I had been texting this person and his assistant since a week ago, like trying to follow up on my plans. And this is the part that really got me. Later that night, I sent her all the information for the hotel. It was $1,000 just to keep her there for the weekend." You saw the receipt for that hotel. It said hotelstonight.com. You're telling me a Hotels Tonight boutique hotel in LA was $1,000 for 2 days? It was not some extravagant hotel. I even did my research, trying to look at hotels. I'm like, it's $1,000, huh? Like you're spending $1,000 for me to stay 2 days. So that already, he's already giving himself up with that. So looking back at the entire situation, the way that I can surmise this particular event, and this was very significant in my fury for sexual exploitation or trafficking, because I truly felt like there was just a lot of details about this that didn't make sense. I feel that it didn't need to go to the extent of them, checking up on when I was checking in and all these things, when they weren't the nature of their staff was that they weren't worried about me. They weren't reassuring me that, it was being handled. It was always one story conflicting with the other story. It was never straightforward. So, how do we go from, first of all, a non-criteria contest? Again, there was no criteria to this contest. There were so many people that had, other thousands of views on their videos and, comments and likes, but there was no criteria to winning this contest. That should have been my first red flag. And that's to anybody out there. If there is a contest out there, make sure that it is absolutely, outlines when you should be getting your accommodations or anything like that. If it's even to that type of contest. This type of thing was just so open and fluid, and it just invited all types of, room for whatever they wanted to do. And there was so much conflict in our conversations, and this is, I was scared out of my mind for an entire year. Again, this was in LA. I could have been doing anything at that time, yet they expected me to check in to the hotel on a Friday night. They expected me to walk into the hotel, and they had either clerks that were, either they had clerks that were informing them when I was going to walk in, or there was somebody already knowingly there to welcome me and know that I was walking in. It's just, this is such a crazy world. And that's where, there have been other coercions that I suspect have happened in my life, or attempted coercions, but this one was the big one that really reignited the passion for sexual exploitation and sex trafficking, because I know that this thing happens a lot of times. And it might be for certain girls or people that are so embarrassed or so scared to come out with this type of testimony that, they're scared of being either shamed, or they're scared of the actual procurer coming after them. There's so many reasons why people are so afraid for coming out and being transparent about what could have happened to them or what was being done. And I guess that's my story, to come out and say, don't don't be ashamed that even if it happened to up to that point where you stopped it right before something could have happened, they were trying to, from what I understand, and I looked into this person's background and what they owned, like the person who owned the hotel, who owned the reservation. I looked up this person. I saw what type of things they owned and what type of nature their career was under. And it was pretty much alluding to a lot of sexual nature. And, that's that. That's my testimony, and that's my past. And that is why I am so angry and fueled at sexual exploitation and people who want to take advantage of unsuspecting girls who, just are excited to win a contest or excited to visit a place of business. You would take advantage of that. So anyway, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next rabbit hole. Bye.